Okay, today we are going to be doing a demonstration speech. My demonstration speech is on art, or being artistic. Some people think that just because you can paint or draw, that you are considered an artist. Whenever I show off my paintings, people always go, "Oh, you're so artistic, you can paint. I could never do that. I'm not artistic." And my feelings on that is everyone can be artistic. You can always be creative. So what I chose to do is show you guys how to take two simple household objects and make something extraordinary out of it. Example is my duct tape rose. I'll just show the camera back really quick. My duct tape rose. All you need for duct tape rose is simply a straw, just a household straw, and duct tape. You can do different colors. You can do one color. It doesn't matter. You can choose whatever you want to do. In ours, we're doing white and we're doing bubble colors. So first, when you do your duct tape rose, you need to cover your straw. So I laid out a piece of duct tape for everyone for their straws. So here's a piece of duct tape for everybody. Grab one. Duct tape for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take our straw. We're going to line it up with our duct tape. And you might have a little bit of straw left over. That's okay because we'll cut it off. Take your straw in your hand like this. And we're just going to roll it. Make sure you roll it tight. Covering the straw right on there. Make sure you pat it down, make that straw really tight in there. If you have extra, just chop it on off either side. Just like that. Go ahead and chop off your extra straw. Okay, so your straw, as you probably figured out, is the stem. The stem of the flower is what holds the flower up at its core. It's what is most important for the straw or for the flower to stay upright. So that is our stem. So we are going to go, I'll help you out. We're going to go from our stem, we're going to leave that down for a little bit and we're going to work on our petals. All right, so we have 20 petals. They're just little individual pieces of duct tape. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our petals just like this and we are going to fold one corner just about halfway through. So you're going to fold it about halfway through, and then you're going to take that opposite corner, and you're going to fold it down into the tape just like this. So you're going to have a little bit of tape at the bottom, but you're going to make a little triangle figure. Got it? Perfect. Just right there. Oh, that's good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So you take your other corner. You had it right. You just fold it in just like that. So you have just enough tape at the bottom. So this is our first petal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our duct tape, all 20 pieces, and we need to make petals out of each piece of duct tape. So you can make them as big or as small as you want. And as you're doing this, kind of think of a pattern that you want to do for your flower. I like to go every other. For my flower, I like to do one petal white, and then the next petal would be my bubbles. But we'll get to that when we do our flowers. When doing art or anything artistic, you don't necessarily need to use duct tape or a straw. You can do, I've heard of duct tape prom dresses. So you can take duct tape and you can make a complete dress out of it. I've seen wallets done with duct tape. I've seen purses done with duct tape. It's okay, here, I'll help you. That's all right, I got you. And here, you just take it and you fold it all the way down to the bottom, just like that. And you still got a little triangle right there. So when you take your duct tape, take it halfway here, and another halfway here. Okay? That's perfect. That's all you gotta do. And then, you don't have to just, for creative, you don't have to be with duct tape and straws. You can do anything. I have a friend who makes ornaments out of random things. She made ornaments out of pop bottles, pop bottle tops. She made ornaments out of duct tape one year. So creativeness doesn't come necessarily from a pencil or a crayon. It just comes from your imagination. I have no idea who created the duct tape rose, but I think it was very creative and artistic, even though it wasn't used with a pencil or a pen. So once we get all of these, pull it over. There's quite a bit of them. We'll start making our rose. And I'm sure you can make more than just a rose. I've never tried to make another flower before, but I'm sure you could if you tried. Yes, those are yours. And then I will help anyone that needs help at the end. So if you need help making your petals, just let me know and we can do that. And when you're choosing duct tape, guys, some duct tape, depending on what you get, they're all going to be about the same price, but some of it you'll notice is thinner. Our polka dot ones are a little bit thinner because they have a design on them. They're also, you're not going to get as much duct tape for it. Straw wise, I just went to Culver's and I grabbed a couple straws from Culver's. So any straw, you can pretty much do any straw. When you start getting your tape done, Noah, start putting them in the middle so they're not under your arm like that, okay? Then they won't stick to you. And I will help you in just a minute, okay? So when we make our flower and we do our leaves and everything, every flower has, well, I'd like to say every flower has stems. The stems actually carry nutrients and provide different things that a flower needs to stay alive. So our stem, we want to be bright and beautiful. We want it to have that outgoing look. We want it to look good. So I like to use, as you can see on my example, I like to use the colorful duct tape for that one. So if you want to use that, you're more than welcome to use that as a stem. You don't always have to use, that's fine. You don't always have to use green or brown because if you're using art, you can use whatever colors you want. That's fine. You can use it. You're good. Keep going. And again, duct tape is sticky, so make sure that if you're doing your petals, that they're not getting stuck to anything else or getting stuck to you because it might be hard for you to get them off. And I got all my petals done, so I'm actually going to help Noah with his. If you would like to help someone that needs help, go ahead and Rachel and grab some. Okay. So do you want to just come over and help me with Noah's quick?
Yeah.
So when we're doing it, Noah, we're just going to take a piece and getting stuck. Okay. Why don't you take that piece? And we're going to fold. Watch how I fold. Fold one here and crease it. Perfect. We're going to switch sides. We're going to fold it right on top. Perfect. See, just like that. You did it. But what you're doing, instead of folding it right here, straight across like that. Okay, let's try again. So we're going to fold it here. Crease it. We're going to take this and we'll take it all the way down right there. Yeah, you can still see part of that. That's what we want to do. So you're going to try it, and I'm going to do it right next to you, okay? So take one corner, fold it down just like that. Perfect. Crease it. Now take the other corner and put it just down far enough to where you can still see that side. Let me see. That's perfect. You did great. Okay, we have two more for yours. So why don't you pick that one up and we'll finish them just like that. Now fold it over and crease it. Yep, and then bring it down. And right there. Perfect. Crease it. Okay, these are all your petals. Okay, so we have all of our petals made. Petals look like this. Again, you have your little triangle on top with the duct tape down below. So you probably already realized that the duct tape has to stick to the stem or it's not going to work. So pick up your stems. Find which side you would prefer to be the flower side and which side you would prefer to be the end of the stem. I'm going to choose this side as my flower side because it's a little banged up. And all we're going to do is pick up whatever color you want your middle of your flower to be. You can either do your bubbles or your white. We're going to take them and we're going to just put them right on here. We want to make them a little bit tighter, just like this, and wrap it around. So you have kind of a triangle shape like this. Got it? See yours? Okay, so we're going to bring that here. Here. And we're going to bring it around just like that. See that? How it makes that shape? Okay. So this is the beginning of our flower. You can choose. You can make your flower tight, a tight rose. You can make it a spread out bloomed rose, however you want to make it. So all we're going to do from now is we're just going to put all of our petals on. You can choose your colors. You can choose what order you want to put them in. Just stick them on and kind of move them around so they're not completely right next to each other. So you want to kind of make them a little bit different levels. And then what you can do is if they feel tight and you want to make them loose, just stick your finger right in there and just push them apart. And then switch the levels, make them go up a little bit higher, make them go down a little bit lower. However you feel is going to make your rose creative. And in the end, you guys are going to be how surprised you are when you made the duct tape rose. Do you need help with yours?
No, yeah, it is.
That's okay. Just take your petal, put it right there. Oh, no, you want to turn it so your triangle's up. And you're going to take it just like this. And fold it around. just like that. Perfect. That looks awesome. Okay, keep going. Just keep finding colors. You can put on whatever ones you want. You don't have to put on certain petals. And you'll also notice some of your petals are going to be bigger than others. It's the way you folded them. So the smaller ones are going to be better for the bottom, and the bigger ones are going to be better for the top. So if you want to save those big ones, it might be easier in the end for your flower. So I'm just going to keep going. And I'm actually going to come around. I want to show the camera, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to show the camera kind of what we're doing right now. I'm going to come right over by you. And just flip the camera over really quick. So what we're doing right now is we are taking our petals and we are making our rose. As you can see, we have the center of the rose and we're making our petals go around. So all we're doing is we're taking our petal and we're sticking it right onto that rose. And we're going to stick it right there. You just push the tape down, spread out your petals a little bit to make it look how you want it to look. And then you just keep adding petals onto that. Eventually, when we get to the end, it's going to be bigger. Our rose is going to be fuller, and it will look like this. This will be what our rose looks like, completely duct taped in the straw. So I'm going to go back to my audience, and we're going to finish our roses. How's everybody doing? We doing good? Mm-hmm. All right. So like I said, just kind of vary your petals, make them go where you want them to go, make them look how you want them to look. And if you feel like it is too tight and you want to make it bigger, just push your fingers into there and spread the petals. Just push those petals out. It won't ruin your rose, it'll just make it look bigger. And in the rose example that I have more than 20 petals, so it is a lot bigger. It's not as small. But that's okay. We don't need to have huge, extravagant roses because even small ones are beautiful. So we keep doing our petals. That's okay. There's no wrong in art. All you gotta do is bring the petals out just like this. See? And do it just right here. Just go with that petal. See? You can always fix it. There's no wrong one. Look at there. We still have a rose. So why don't you keep adding to them? Just make sure that we're putting them. We stick them on here and just take them in and pull them out just like that. Okay. Perfect. Keep going. You're doing good. We have a couple petals left to use. Okay. Okay. Okay, once you feel like your rose is done, kind of just spread out your petals a little more, see how you want it. And then when I get caught up, we will put on the bottom of our flower, and then we will stick on our stem. Just gonna quickly add mine on there. And these roses, honestly, are really cool on pens. You can make them out of a pen. You don't have to use a straw. You can use a pen. They look really cool. So you don't have to just use a straw. You can use anything as your base. Okay, so I'm just going to flatten mine out. And as you can see, if you look into it, it's going to be a rose. Now, some people think that that's kind of ugly the way it is, which I do think it's kind of not attractive. So you can bend your rose and you can tape it so you still see your leaf, but you also see the inside of the rose. Okay, so as you guys can see, down here, it looks all crappy and messy because we have a bunch of duct tape down. So what we can do is we can either choose our polka dot or our white tape, which I'm just going to give everybody some polka dot tape and make it look a little bit better. This for you. This for you. You ready, buddy?
Yeah.
This is your piece, so just hold on to it, okay? Okay, and then mine. Okay, and what we're going to do for this is we're going to add to our bottom. We're just going to take the duct tape down kind of far, and we're just going to circle it. Circle that, and it's going to be bunchy, which is fine. Just like this, circle it. It's fine if it's bunchy because we're not done with it yet, so just go ahead. Alright, that just kind of hides some of it. Shows it right here. And I used white on the example one, so it's harder to see. And then what I sometimes like to do, depending on if you want to do it or not, I'm just going to give you a little preview. Take smaller pieces, I just rip them in half, and I just go around right here to make it look a little bit better, kind of hide some of that white, and I just go around. Like I said, you don't have to do it. You can if you want. Does anybody else want any more duct tape for that? Okay, so we have the top of our rose done. It's done. We have it looking good. And like I said, we don't have as many as we do on this. You can always add more. You don't have to stop at 20 petals. You can make it as big and beautiful as you want. Next, we're going to do our leaf. The leaf, again, provides nutrients for the flower. It makes it look beautiful. Because right now, we just have a flower. Now we have a beautiful flower. So I'm going to let you guys choose. Do you want a white or a polka dotted leaf? Polka dotted. You put polka dotted? Okay, so we're going to do polka dotted. All right. Hold on to your piece, and I will show you how to make the leaf. There's yours. And the leaf is very, very simple, guys. It's actually, I think, easier than the petals. Not as much time consuming either. Okay, so what we're going to do with our leaves is we're going to take them, and all we're going to do is we're just going to fold them like that. So you have enough room where you can see both sides of tape. Nope, 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 nope. We're going to fold it like this. See that? Okay, so as you can see, obviously it does not look like a leaf yet. What we're going to do is you're going to find the spot that has the most duct tape that's tapeable to your flower. And the other side that doesn't have as much, we're going to just cut that right off because we don't need that anymore. But we're going to start up here and we're going to cut it kind of in a little rounded, I guess, like to create that point at the top. So you can go ahead and cut off that part. Yep, I'll help you. And then this part obviously is just garbage. We can just throw that right away when we're done. I'll help you out with yours, okay, Noah? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the small part. Yeah, perfect. And we're just going to take it from here. We're going to round it off. We're going to cut right into it, just like that. Okay? Hold on to your leaves. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have to connect our leaf to our flower. So we're going to take the very point, whether it's the duct tape, and wherever you can put it down low, you can put it up high, you can put it in the middle. I put mine in the middle just because it's kind of balanced. And then you're just going to start here, and you're just going to roll the duct tape right around the flower until there's no more duct tape to roll. Just like that. And you're going to notice some leaves are more to the flower, whereas other leaves stick out farther than the flower. It doesn't matter. It's your flower. You make it how you want to make it. This is actually our duct tape rose. So we have made it. Do you need help with yours? Here. Just like this. Just roll it right away. Perfect. So this is our duct tape rose. So as you guys can see, we took two simple objects. We took a straw and duct tape. And we made something very creative and very different out of them. So would you guys consider yourselves artists after doing this?
Yes.
Yes. Even though you didn't have to draw anything, you didn't have to paint anything, you still got to make something unique and different. And I bet if you go up to a random person in the street and say, can you make a duct tape rose? They're going to be confused. And they're going to be like, well, what are you talking about? And that's because they don't know what it is. So now you can take your skills of duct tape roses or duct tape wallets or whatever you can make out of duct tape, and you can show other people and say, you are creative, you are artistic. Even if you can't draw or paint, which doesn't matter. We don't have to draw or paint to be artistic. Because as we've proven today, we can all be creative with two simple objects. So these are our duct tape roses. All right. What are we at?